Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and here with The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. And I want to focus a little bit more today on the ins and outs of weight loss. This seems to be the height of my career these days, helping people with weight loss. It's because I dropped 180 pounds and I did it going the absolute hard way and doing it the right way. So I'm very, very passionate these days about making sure that people understand their tools and what's right and what's wrong about it. And the latest tool that has come to light, and I've got Ray Solano on with me today, which I do every month. And I appreciate Ray being on and sponsoring me, but Ray has absolutely reformulated tirzepatide now to be able to give it to you in an oral tablet. This is the next step, folks. This is the next greatest thing. And, you're probably hearing a lot these days about, how do I get off the shot? Why, are there alternatives? And so this is your alternative. And I wanted to bring Ray on today. Welcome, Ray. It's nice to see you as always.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here for this exciting. It's like working with you is that we're always pushing the envelope to really put people to get healthy. And, this is going to be a major campaign that we're calling Let's Get Healthy. We did a radio show years ago on that campaign, 10 years ago. Imagine that. It's finally come full circle. Wow. So I think I'm just so excited that we probably will have a freedom to practice medicine. How's that?
Absolutely. Freedom to practice medicine. I can't imagine that. We've been restrained for so long. The pharmaceutical companies, the insurances telling us who can and can't be treated. And, these days need to end. We need to, as a society, we need to take control. So I was in Europe recently, the first time I've ever crossed the ocean. I'm so excited. I just got back. And what I noticed were tremendous differences in weight and, exercise and food and how things are handled. It's day and night. And I came back, here with my jaw just hitting the ground about, we really need to take control in America of what we are doing with our food. People need to be way more enlightened about what the industry has done to us and where they've led us. This billion-dollar industry of lose weight fast. And, we have really got to hit a reset button in the United States. And I think you've got a great product that can help do that.
Well, we've put ourselves in this. We're a research-based pharmacy. We're a specialty compounding pharmacy, but we've researched new and innovative botanicals and innovative or pharmaceuticals that are coming out of phase 2 phase trials, or all repurposed drugs to be able to fix what the problems are. So we really start over again all the time, and what we're noticing is many times drugs are given in the wrong dosage for the person. Yeah. So you really have to personalize the dosage. That's number one. Right. And many times you don't really give a drug when you have an underlying comorbidity situation or problems. And you have to fix what the underlying root cause of why you got there the first time before you can layer on another area. We didn't gain 50 pounds overnight because you ate too much ice cream in one day. This is something that went on for 15 or 20 years. And sometimes all the time it's not your fault. It's because the wrong fuel was cause a complete recycling, or your metabolism is stuck in a gear, so to speak, to simplify it. So we look for things to unhinge and unlock your body's basic metabolic rates, and also to look at their biochemistry and understand what the defect is.
Absolutely.
And what we've come up with 180 degrees, these new classifications of drugs work extremely well without major psychiatric side effects like we used to see for depression and many other dysfunctionalities. But the dose is sometimes too high.
Right.
And so there's going to be a next chapter is microdosing of these drugs. Mm-hmm. Well, microdosing is sometimes difficult for injections because most of the side effects that people have in emergency rooms is they gave themselves 10 times too much because they couldn't do the math on the syringes. So,
So true.
Okay, so we just don't need to make everybody medical professionals and give themselves injections because they're not trained for it.
Right.
So we make it simpler. And so we default to nasal sprays and sublinguals whenever we can. So that's why we came up with this tirzepatide patented form in a chewable lithosphere, which is totally different than any of the oral products. Most of the oral products don't really work. Rybelsus works. That's a semaglutide. But tell me, have you seen results with that?
No.
I haven't. We haven't either.
No.
Because it doesn't really get blood levels. So we come up with this unique LipoTab technology that gets blood levels and hormones, and we feel we get blood levels and peptides.
Right.
So that's why we're launched the tirzepatide LPT tablets that your practice is one of the exclusive practitioners in the country that have access to it because it requires some specific training. So we're really excited about it.
Absolutely. So, how can you bypass easier, safer, better results? Those are things that are hard to get by. And I like that you brought up the fact that, we didn't gain 50 pounds overnight, just, eating, one thing. And most patients that will do the injections will, get off the injections. And within actually a couple of weeks, they will start to gain fairly quickly after working so hard for many months, giving themselves an injection. And so getting off these medications, I'm speaking of the injections, and trying to find something that they can, transfer over to help continue to alleviate the food noise. Because the industry has, and I read several studies and several papers and whatnot about how the industry has studied us and studied our biochemistry and fed us things that essentially work like heroin and cocaine on our brains as far as addiction goes. Well, guess what? Carbohydrates and your chewy, crunchy, sweet stuff, all those things are speaking to you in the middle of the night. This is absolutely true. And handling the food noise and trying to get away from, just staying on an injection the rest of your life. It's expensive. It's hard to do. People don't always feel well at the higher dosages. It's a mess. I think this is a great place to transfer to.
I think so. And then the amount of people that have tried the injections or off of it because of side effects is growing. Right. And so we're looking at the Offramp, and myself in partnership with Dr. Jim Laval has put together, I think he's 2 years ahead of time, is the Offramp for fixing insulin resistance and long-term recovery.
Absolutely.
So we have phase 1, where maybe the injections or the tablets, and at the same time fix the lifestyle difficulties or what people are doing on a daily basis that got them there in the first place, and fix their behavior, their sleep patterns, and their gut issues at the same time. And then phase 2 would be my transitioning off the injections and also go on to botanicals that have the same absorption and therapeutic properties that work in concert with the body to control those blood sugar reactions long term.
Which you also have, correct?
That's right. And so that's phase 2. And then also when we get the hormones that are being tragically misaligned at the same time, that we balance those back on so that the body's, there's got how many cylinders, I don't know, you can name them, that all have to be working at the same time. So then the people get control of their weight again and be able to also fine tune what substances or allergy they have a food intolerance for.
Absolutely.
And you start removing those, And so then you can start to go into phase 3 is a maintenance and start building muscle back.
Right.
God forbid. Right. We move some muscles, and then that's the chief most important thing for that metabolic reset of what their burn rate is on a daily basis. And so then when you go to phase 4, you're building muscle, you're maintaining weight or losing weight, you're getting all of your markers together, and there's like 15 key markers that slow longevity.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we're working on, and working with you and your team, that you're going to be the center of excellence for this. We're really excited.
Yeah, which is wonderful. And that's where I've wanted to be for a very long time. I learned nothing in medical school about nutrition and weight loss and how the body, responds. Back when I was in medical school, we really didn't have a lot of insulin resistance and obesity problem. Then I became victim to it, right? So I gained weight up to 300 pounds and then had to, spent 13 years obese, had to learn the long term, not just, getting the weight off, do something, use a tool, get the weight off, and then just that's how I did it for many, many years. And that's why I gained everything back. But to look at the long term, I never want to go back. I don't ever want to be that again. I am well aware of my habits and my responsibilities. Do I still use a tool sometimes? Sure. Under stress, I want to stress eat or whatnot. Use a lot of the botanicals and things that, you guys are coming out with and relying on. And just looking at it from a long term. Taking all that vast knowledge and giving it to my patients and spending time with people and teaching you step by step how to do that and do this for the long term. Been doing it for 2 years now with the GLPs. And I added up how how much we've managed to lose as a group, and it's been over 2,200 pounds.
Wow, that's fabulous. That's great.
Tell me about it. So that has never happened in my practice lifetime of other tools that we have. Now, the problem is, though, are people taking it seriously enough that they're going to keep this weight off? Where do I go with people now to transition them off and look at the long term? And that's where we really, really want to focus, because that's a very difficult problem. It's really very difficult. So getting off the injections is important. We don't want you to have to be on something long-term. There are some long-term studies about, lowering heart attack and stroke rate, lowering, diabetes rate and whatnot. But these are microdosing. This is not staying on these higher dosages long-term. It's what you suggest, microdosing. So if people are like, okay, what is microdosing? So explain to us what microdosing really is.
Well, we're taking maybe 1/10 of the dose that we normally would on a weekly basis or on a daily basis. So the body's it's amazing how sometimes different doses give different effects. Right. So we do this in low dose naltrexone, a totally different effect that we have on the body on a low dose basis. It's a different therapeutic classification for a reset on the opioid receptors. Yeah. And we see this for methylene blue. On a lower dose, we see we reduce the side effects, and the body has this ability that we're getting a different absorption rates.
Yeah.
So in a microdosing of the drugs is we're not causing the slowing the gastric emptying like we did before, but working centrally on the brain to stop some of those cravings, that connection we're not sure, but I'm theorizing it's a better connection for the gut-brain reactivity, so that the body's able to listen to those signals. Right. So always looking at resets, especially. Yeah. So I think that's what's going on.
Many people are looking for something more natural always, right? And I don't want to use a drug. I don't want to do. But, when you get to that metabolic point that you described earlier, where your body just can't set its own reset button, it's just out of control. The horse is out of the gate. So
that's right.
That is where you do need a good tool, such as the GLPs, to help turn that around, or bariatric surgery. Whatever. I mean, there's so many different things you can do, and every person is different. Everybody's needs are different. And a lot of these places will just focus on one thing. Here's your shot. Here's your little pamphlet, of nutrition and how to follow nutrition. We'll talk to you in a month or 2 or 3 and see how you're doing,
Right. That's right.
Not the way. That is not the way to approach people. There's a lot of behavioral aspects, addiction aspects even.
Right.
And everybody's different. So, in microdosing, you can, like you say, give little dosages back to get the body to retrain itself.
That's right. I like that. Retraining it little at a time. And they're affordable. We have to make this affordable for people. Unfortunately, we are inundated when we think cheaper is better.
Oh.
And when you're dealing with pharmaceuticals and you're dealing with these drugs, please do not look on the internet and try to get look for the drug, look for whatever is, and try to get the cheapest one.
Absolutely.
It is not the way it should be doing. And unfortunately, let the buyer beware should not be for drugs. Yes. These are powerful medications in the wrong hands. We see so much emergency room visits going on for the misuse of these drugs.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing major class action lawsuits that are going on now because these certain med spas are things inappropriate use of this.
Here it comes, right?
So, unfortunately, we have the history is littered with drugs that were taken off the market because of a few bad actors.
Yes,
that made a huge difference.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we're not part of that, that people need to take some responsibility for their actions. So that's why this show is great. Tell your friends about it.
Thank you, please.
Spread the word.
Absolutely.
That we get some common sense approaches to weight loss that work.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this for a long time, and we make sure we give the entire picture.
Absolutely. Head to toe and molded to you and your needs.
That's right.
And so, and if people are interested in doing this, where can they contact you? And then I'll tell them where they can contact me.
Yeah, give us a call at PD Labs. PDLabsRx.com is our website. Phone number of our clinic is 512-219-0782, 512-219-0782, the Laval Performance Health Center clinic. That we can walk you through the steps for the program, and or contact the pharmacy at PD Labs. And, we always have people answering the phone and be able to give you solutions.
Absolutely. So, and we've got you and I have lots of previous shows talking about a lot of this. Jim and I have done some as well. So Dr. Laval and I have sat down and talked about some of these things as well. So please go back, look at some of the previous shows. You can get all of his information, Ray's information on my website at drpbetterlife.com. drpbetterlife.com. You can find out how to reach out to me. I answer all my own emails, so just hit the contact button. It comes straight to me. We're going to take a short break, come back on the other side and finish up.
Hi, this is Ray Solano with your Healthy Choices Minute, sponsored by Prescription Dispensing Labs. New research has concluded that implementing dietary changes could prevent gut inflammatory processes involved in some chronic diseases. Modulation of your gut microbes through diets enriched with vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and a higher intake of plant over animal foods has a potential to prevent intestinal inflammatory conditions at the core of many chronic diseases. In short, the foods we eat and our dietary patterns have a major influence on our immune system that can cause many conditions we are suffering from today. Solution: try our OptiMeal shake. Our team has developed the best tasting, healthiest shake you've ever experienced to control blood sugar and to improve your gut. Start your day today with a healthy choice. Call us today at 888-909-0110 for a free sample of the OptiMeal shake. 888-909-0110. Remember, you have a choice in healthcare.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston. I'm here with Ray Solano today up at PD Labs in Cedar Park, Texas. You know Ray very well. We've done this once a month for 3 years now. Ray, I always appreciate having you on. We talked a lot now in the first part about, oral tirzepatide and the facts about weight loss. You kind of threw something on me here. You guys, we're gonna do something next time and talk about something next time. But there's a lot of different things coming down the pikeway, right? I mean, tirzepatide and your botanical, not your botanicals, but the berberine and the mixtures there and all the LPT formulations and whatnot. So, are there new things coming down the pikeway?
Well, there is. Again, when you open up the floodgates of a multi-billion-dollar industry, that we have a lot of lookalikes and also a whole list of other drugs are in the pipeline that go on some of these same factors that influence, and all of them are in this family of peptides. And this family peptides, there are nothing short of short chain amino acids that connect together that have an amazing properties for the body. Well, a number of these there's close to 500 in phase 2 trials right now. So the good thing is we have some good drugs coming out.
Yes.
And so there's another drug that's in phase 2 trials that we have in partnership with Laval Performance Health that we will be launching by prescription to patients very shortly. That has the best of the best. Not only helps with the insulin resistance and reducing blood sugar levels, but it helps reduce fat and increase muscle at the same time. So you're turning your head going.
You got all ears now. Let's hear it.
So we're reducing fat and increasing muscle all in one product. And Jim is has been pioneering this for 6 months. We're expecting it in shortly. So you have to tune in to the next show for more information.
Absolutely.
And we're going to see if we can get Jim to give you firsthand information. So you have to tune into next month's show for that.
Yeah. And I think, when we talk about drugs, so you've kind of used the word drugs and people are like, well, I don't want to take drugs. That's what a lot of people, especially who listen to my show, are kind of, integrative and as you are too in a compounding pharmacy, more integrative driven. We are talking about peptides even. And so if you kind of take the drug factor of it, yes, it is a prescription, it's a drug and that's classified, but peptides, even the GLPs, these are things that are normal to our bodies. These are things that we make. These are little channels that tell our body to do the right thing at the right time, the right way. And so it's, in my mind, there's really more of a natural effect to these medicines. And that's what we're trying to do, is get the body to do its job. Do what it's supposed to do.
Do what it's supposed to do. Absolutely. Work in concert with the body as in blocking it. Absolutely. So that's why we're really excited. So we're going to get handle this. We're going to get people to be able to live their lives. We can slow down this longevity. We hope we work in concert with regulatory agencies as opposed to watching whether we are breaking the rules. Absolutely. So I think we're going to unleash a tremendous renaissance in health. Like you said, when you went over to Europe, there's a radical difference. When you landed in San Antonio, you probably saw 30 pounds on everybody. And you went, wow. It's so funny. Europeans make fun of all the Americans.
They sure do.
They can just tell the Americans by looking at their waistline.
Absolutely. We were had a cruise line. And so we'd get off the cruise and then see the people walking in the cities all trim and, reasonably healthy looking. You get back on the cruise, every single person on the cruise, had a belly and, large, and older too, and just not walking well, walkers. We're destroying ourselves.
No, we are. So,
the use of the word renaissance is amazing. I love that you say that. That's what we need. We need a complete overall. And we do want to work with regulatory, we want to work with insurance. We want to work with the FDA. We want to work with, the right way to keep an eye on things, make sure things are done correctly. Don't want to work against that. But so often, and I know that we butt heads just trying to do the right thing, for people and have things done the right way. It's very difficult.
So we're excited. We're going to do it. So what's, you can call us 512-219-0724 is the name of the pharmacy. We're licensed nationwide. We can help you with all of your compounding needs. pdlabsrx.com is the website. And we're really excited to do for this next chapter. So, and working with you as well.
Well, I love it. And I think the next step for the next phase for people to understand, now that we've used the injections and a lot of our muscle has been lost. And so that is the next stepping stone, is how to rebuild your body to be a metabolic machine again, like it used to be. You don't have
That's
to be
right.
a bodybuilder. You don't have to do all of those things, but you do need for your muscle mass to be present in order to function and keep your weight down and low. And that's what we want to eventually rebuild with people. It's very important and definitely on my plate with all my patients to try to do. So Ray and I have done some shows in the past. Go to drpbetterlife.com and take a look at those. We've talked a lot about tirzepatide. We've talked a lot about the oral tablets too in the past. Jim Laval, Dr. Laval has been on with me several times now, and his wife Laura. So Laura as well has been on. They've talked a lot about different types of diets, the different pharmaceuticals, but also the different whys as to, how did we wind up this way? Where did all of this come from? So go back and listen to those, please. drpbetterlife.com. And then, Jim's going to kill you now. I'm going to have to rope him down and get him on the show.
We're just as another announcement, we've subscribed to Dr. Talks podcast.
Nice.
So we're relaunching Healthy Choices under Dr. Talks podcast channel, and you're going to be on there as well. So you can check out your information and mine.
Great.
Just look under Healthy Choices under Dr. Talks, and that'll be launched next month. And you're going to be a guest of our relaunch of our podcast.
I can't wait. That's amazing. Healthy Choice has been a great show. You guys have done so well with it. I'm glad to see you go into the next level. So I'm honored to be a part of it. Thank you. So good. Well, I guess, Ray, we are going to end off, but with a stay tuned, please, because there is more to come. And as always, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And everybody's going to, this show is going to air through Thanksgiving. So everybody have a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your turkey, but then wake up the next day and get right back on.
That's right. And let food be medicine. That's the new term. How's that?
Absolutely. I think that's perfect.
Well, take care.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me. Bye.